Hello! Today we're going to talk about Ishvara Pranidhana. Today we're going to talk about how to devote your life for the benefit of all living beings. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, we can find Ishvara Pranidhana as Niyama principle, as one of 5 Niyama principles. Ishvara Pranidhana means devotion to all living beings or devotion to God. From Sanskrit, Ishvara means creator, God, absolute, highest consciousness, and similar words. Pranidhana or Pranidhan means to find a shelter or devotion. So Ishvara Pranidhana means to find a shelter in God or to find a shelter in devotion for serving all living beings. Usually in our society, people live life that is orientated to satisfy their material desires and their material needs. And usually people for them it's very hard to understand why I should serve somebody, why I should do something good for others. Because when we are ego orientated, when we live only, when our life is dedicated only to fulfill our selfish needs, then our life becomes like very limited, because then we use our time, our money, our resources only to get some kind of desires, pleasures, satisfaction that are related only with us. So Ishvara Pranidhana, it is principle, it is cure for people who live egoistic way of living. So egoistic way of living means if you live a life and you think that your life should be dedicated only to satisfy your desires, satisfy your pleasure, only to satisfy your material needs. So if you will follow Ishvara Pranidhana principle, it will expand your possibilities in this life. There is one very great quote from Shantideva Bodhicharya Avatara about Ishvara Pranidhana. Everything you do directly and indirectly, let it be for the benefit of others, dedicating all deeds to achieve awakening exclusively for benefit of all living beings. Materialistic way of life, it always limits your possibilities, and Ishvara Pranidhana or devotion to all living beings, it expands your possibilities. Because when you realize that you are in relationship with all living beings, then you can talk to everybody, you can help everybody, you can do some kind of good things for everybody. There is no borders between you and between other person. For example, when we live life, selfish life, only orientated in us, then we create borders. You know, we build big fences, we build big houses, even bigger fences, and we are very far from other people, very far from environment. And when you realize that you are part of this whole system where we are right now, then you realize that actually there are no borders between you and between other person. And those borders, they are created only with our mind. So when your mind, when your consciousness expands, you realize that actually there are no borders between you and between other person. If before that you thought that, oh, I don't know if I could say hello for other person. So when you follow Ishvara Pranidhana, you can say hello to every person that you see in your life, even for the first time, because you are in relation with all living beings. And of course, as I've said, it very expands your possibilities. Also, when we live life, we generate energy. For example, when we do yoga practice, you also get energy. And in some point of life, we need to learn how to direct this energy to the benefit of all humanity, to the benefit of all living beings. And very interesting thing that the most well-known yoga masters, yoga gurus, when they reached very high level of consciousness, very high level of experience, some of them reached samadhi states, they came back and they started to devote for all living beings. And yoga masters are the great example of people who, even when they reached highest states, experienced it, they came back and they served people, they served humanity. And a lot of them are still doing it right now. So yoga masters, yoga teachers, yoga gurus are very great example of how to devote your life to serve for the benefit of all living beings. Also, to understand a little bit more this principle, so imagine we generate energy, and if we don't know how to direct it to some good deeds, then we usually spend this energy to get something material, to satisfy our needs, to satisfy our pleasures, to go to cinema, to eat some kind of tasty food, to watch movie, to listen music or something. And you also, when you know about this principle, you can understand that, for example, in the day you have, for example, 10 hours of free time, and you can use 10 hours differently. And the way how you will use your 10 hours, it will have different consequences to other people. So, for example, you can, in 10 hours, you can watch a movie, eat some cookies, and do some other things. Also, in 10 hours, you can make a yoga practice. In 10 hours, you can read a book, go somewhere, travel around. Also, in 10 hours, you can make a good lecture for other people that can benefit others in their spiritual knowledge. And so on. So please understand the idea that in this life we have time, and we can use this time different, and those different actions will give different result for other people. So in our life we need to find the highest possible actions, deeds, ways to serve other people, ways to serve humanity, and devote our life for that. So Ishvara Pranidhana, this principle is about it. So what are the main benefits of Ishvara Pranidhana? Firstly, you become free from egoistic motivations. It means your possibilities to live life expands a lot. Then, secondly, you return back your karmic debts. It is also very important because while you still have a lot of karmic debts from your previous lives, then you stuck in some way of living life. And only when you serve others, you returning back this karma that you created from the past. And this karma can be different. Also, as Sage Patanjali says in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, by devotion for Ishvara, attainable samadhi. So it means when we follow and apply this principle Ishvara Pranidhana in our life, then we can attain samadhi. It's words by Sage Patanjali. So, how to start practice Ishvara Pranidhana? When you get knowledge, when you experience something good that can be helpful for others, share it with others. If you get some kind of knowledge that help you to understand some principles in life, share it with others. Because if it was valuable for you, probably it can be valuable also for others. Also, try to serve all people, all human, all environment. Try to serve and try to give more for others instead of doing something for yourself. And also, try to dedicate merits of your life to the benefit of all living beings. So, when we follow this principle, it creates very great relationship between us and between others. And when you realize that actually there are no borders between you and between other person, it is very beautiful. Please remember that yoga practice, it is not about making good pictures. It's not about putting your head under your head, about putting your foot under your head. Yoga, it is not only about your physical body. Yoga even not only about your health. Naturally, when you do yoga, your health becomes much better. But yoga is to realize your true inner nature and to serve all your time for the benefit of all living beings, to the benefit of the highest power. Thank you for watching. Hope it was valuable for you. See you again next time. Goodbye.